Okay, and we'll make a start. So yeah, position quite important for comfort, or for me it's not massively comfortable sitting with my legs crossed, but it's sustainable for half an hour. Got my bum on a cushion, and I kind of wrap a blanket around my feet so that I don't feel too close to the earth and too uncomfortable on the earth. But you could sit, you could lie down. So, if you feel like your energy levels are a little bit lower, then you could always lie down. And maybe just start to close the eyes or soften the gaze. And you might take a nice deep breath in and out. And maybe one more. And from there on out, unless you feel a kind of need to take a deeper breath, and that need might come if distraction really starts to creep in. So no doubt in a half an hour mindfulness practice, distraction will come and go. So you could focus yourself back in with a deep breath. Maybe focus yourself back in through thinking about a sense of grounding. So that could be through the seat, through the feet. And we're going to take our awareness and just let it wander around the body. So start at the point that you feel drawn to. So for me, my point is more often than not, the soles of my feet. It could be the base of the spine. That is a good starting point. That is Muladhara, our root. And we're really slowly, it could almost be like we're kind of drawing a pattern through the body. Just going to wander our attention all around the body. So wherever we've started, maybe we go up the body or down the body or from side to side. And each time that distraction does enter, we're going to take it right back to the start. If you need that deep breath when you take it right back to the start, then absolutely. If you need to just have a little shuffle and kind of get yourself back into the practice. So we're going to take 2 minutes journeying around the body. And knowing that in just a couple of breaths, that part of our practice is drawn to a close. So maybe you just let that go. Maybe you take a deeper breath to kind of signify that. And another deeper breath. And perhaps there was somewhere in your body that you felt more connected to. Perhaps there wasn't, that's okay too. And for our next 2 minutes, I'm going to see if we can focus our attention on a place or a space of the body. So if there was, a kind of connection that you felt as you were journeying around, go there. If it's a space or a place that's just kind of fairly easy to touch down on with the hand, you could always place a palm on there. And each time the mind wanders or becomes distracted, we're going to remind ourselves of where our place or where our space of the body is. Maybe we take a breath and we return back to that place or space. 2 minutes. And as we start to approach the end of that little part of our practice, you might just let that go. You might take a deep breath, a couple of deep breaths. And then just check in as we come to nearly our halfway point of the practice. Check in with the position that you're in. Does that still feel okay for you, or do you need to change in any way? So, part of meditation, mindfulness, concentration, these styles of practice isn't to force ourselves to sit in a position and just be like, right, well, I'm going to stay there even if it's not comfortable. And the more comfortable the position is, the more we can let go of the position as one of our distractions. Just have a check-in with the teeth and the jaw. Just check that we're not clenching. With the shoulders, check that we're not lifting them up and squashing into the neck or tensing into the upper back. And check in with the belly. So, quite often we hold or draw our belly in. Maybe some of that's kind of like societal pressure of I'm sure we've all been in a position, I know I definitely have, of kind of going out and, oh, I'll just hold my belly in. But for this, we want the belly to be soft and spacious, and that's where we're going next. So you might even place a hand on the belly as you do so. Now I've got a softer, squidgier belly, certainly a softer, squidgier belly than I used to have, but I'm just going to honor that, I'm just going to place a hand or both hands on my belly. And here we're going to find the breath. So for 2 minutes in a moment, we're going to bring our awareness to the breath. And every time we feel that distraction creeps in, you might take a deeper inhale. Feel that you breathe right down into the belly. And as you exhale, just that gentle draw back, maybe the face and the shoulders soften further. Our focus is on the breath. 2 minutes. And we start to notice that this little part of our practice is drawing to a close. Maybe you take a deeper breath to just close that part. Maybe you just allow yourself to let that go. And from hands resting and touching on the belly, I'm going to join the thumb and the next finger to it together on both hands. And it's up to you here. So this is a mudra. And it's just a really gentle touch. So there's many kind of reasons, explanations, ways that we can use this. Palm open and upwards means a few things. For the purpose of this, it's going to mean that we're inviting something inwards. That could be anything. Something that maybe you're manifesting and inviting inwards for the year. If you prefer, you can turn and have palms down. And maybe that signifies something that you're releasing, or sometimes that's just said to be energy contained in the body. So we're keeping our energy contained in. And rather than the thought or the idea of what you're welcoming or releasing, our point of focus is just going to be that touch of the fingertips together. So for 2 minutes, just noticing when distraction comes up and gently reminding ourselves just to wander back to this touch of the thumb and the finger. And as we know that we start to draw this little part of the practice to a close, maybe you take a deeper breath. Maybe you release the touch of the fingers. You might even have a little wiggle of your fingers, little rotate of the wrists. And then let's just follow that again with a moment to check in. So do we need to have a little wiggle? You've probably got time to fit in 2 more of our focus points. So if you need to have a little wiggle or a stretch, if you need to reposition, or maybe you kind of feel like you've got that Goldilocks position and you're there and you're still. Softening the face, shoulders, belly. And totally up to you if you want to bring the fingertips back into that mudra. Another option could just be that you have the backs of the hands on the knees or the thighs, and that's a kind of open palm receiving. And instead of now focusing on the mudra, we're going to focus on something that we are drawing in. So that could be literally for this evening. So like I had quite a bad night's sleep last night. So I'm going to be drawing in that for me, I would like to have a peaceful, restful evening sleep. Maybe like bigger picture, you know, you might be drawing in, I'd like to move house this year. I'd like to buy a new car. I'd like to start a relationship with someone, like all of these different things. Maybe, you know, it could be as simple as just one of this pair of shoes that I've seen. So, you know, don't judge what it is that you're drawing in. That's personal to you. You don't have to share it with anyone. And this is just a way of working with manifesting. So literally sat here, open to receive. If the mind wanders away, and the mind in this one might wander to, really though, is that, yeah? Just bring it back. Either visualize in your mind if you can see it as an object, or if it's more of a feeling or sensation, you might just be stating it in the mind. 2 minutes. Bringing something in. And we start to know that that part of our practice is drawing to a close. And maybe from here, we just bring the hands onto the heart space or join the palms. Take a nice deep breath. And following that drawing in, and I think about something we may want to release. And again, this could be big, this could be small. Like mine could be, I want to release, often because I suffer a little bit with insomnia, often I have a fear of going to bed, so I don't help myself by staying up later. and just gets later and later. So mine might be tonight, I want to just release my fear of going to bed and my fear that I'm not going to sleep, because I've already manifested and drawn in that I'm going to have a good night's sleep. So you could, if you're sat on the earth, just touch the fingertips down onto the ground. If you're sat in a chair, you might just have the arms down by the side of the body. If you're lay down, then you could have the palms touching the earth. So it's almost like we're giving this, in Reiki we call it transmuting into the earth, after we've kind of collected all of the things that someone's body might want to release during a treatment. We transmute it back into the earth. So whatever it may be, big or small, up to you. Just for 2 minutes, in kindness, our focus is what we may like to release. If the mind wanders, perhaps we take a breath and we just come back to, I'm just taking a moment to release here. And we start to come to the end of that little part of the practice. So what you might like to do is just take the hands away from the earth and just give them a little shake out. So it's almost like you're just kind of shaking off any little bits there of release. And remember that all of that doesn't have to be one practice. So literally each of those snippets are 2 minutes. You could just take 2 minutes per day with those. And whether you're lay down, sat down, just gently drop the right ear to the right shoulder, or roll the head if you lay down, then over to the left, back to center, chin drops to chest, and then back to center. Just gently tilt the chin to the sky, just a little open through the throat, back to center. If you want to, you might extend the feet or the legs out a little bit. So I'm just going to extend away from my cross-leg position. Have a little wiggle of the toes. Might have a breath in, sweep the hands up. Just have a wiggle of the fingers and rotate the wrists. And then settle back just for a moment more while we close our practice. Whatever position feels right for you, it could have changed through the practice. It might have stayed pretty much the same. And an invitation to bring the hands back to your heart space, or maybe to join the palms in Namaskar. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, just gently drop chin to chest if that's appropriate. Thank yourself for being here, body, breath, mind, perhaps spirit or soul, if that's your belief. And thank you for trusting me to guide you. Hope you have a good night's sleep. I hope you are releasing kindness, whatever it is you wish to release, and draw in whatever it is you would like to draw in. The light and dark in me honors the light and dark within you. Namaste.